Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to the showdown between Nurgle and the Dwarves here on Scalendir's Cave. It's going to be myself with the Sorcerer Lord facing off against Flying Taco, who's going to be using, I was about to say Danny DeVito over here, Malachi McKyson, close enough, but it is going to be him under the alias of DeVito Goblin. So for his army, it's going to be pretty much a classic Thunderbarge army. When you bring the Thunderbarge, you can't really bring that much else. So front line's going to be Chaff, Miners with Blasting Charges, 2 Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedoes with Malachi McKyson to heal the Thunderbarge and the Barge itself, which against Nurgle, I mean, you can kill it with Nurgle, but it's incredibly difficult and usually not worth the effort. You could bring maybe Death Heads grenades, Rancid Visitations, like a Flying Demon Prince, really go in, but it's very risky because if you go in, try and kill it, they heal it, then they're shooting you from the ground, you can have a really, really bad time. So in my school of thought, the best way to beat it is to go very, very wide on objectives. Double Pestigores, Pestigores here and Pestigores here are just the vanguard on the points. But we're not like a super wide army. We do have some elite elements. We have the Exalted Heroes of Nurgle, which are one of my favorite tools against dwarves. These bad boys hit really hard, anti-infantry armor piercing, and they do have a little bit of missile resist. And if you bring the item, which I did, the Festering Shroud, yeah, that gives them the 10% missile resist. So we got 2 of those guys just to run over dwarves. Soul Grinder in the back. Noxbringer is great. If the dwarves are using any sort of shooting, just bombarding them and draining their ammo is good. And in the late game, when he runs out of ammo, you can either unsummon it and get a big surplus of income, or you can use him to fight in melee against, regular dwarf troops. Sorcerer Lord's good. We got Stream of Corruption as well as Fleshy Abundance, and that is pretty much it. So let's fast forward a little bit, get this party started while the dwarves waddle up on the battlefield. So here's something we wanted to test. I shot the Thunderbarge with my Soul Grinder, and I wanted to destroy ammunition from it. And it does kill a little bit. Thunderbarges have a disgusting amount of ammo. It says 38, but it's kind of hard to represent it. I've never seen a Thunderbarge run out of ammo in a domination game. But yeah, I mean, it drained a little bit, but I don't think it's worth it. So then we hit it again. It puts it down to 37 ammo. So if I drained all my Noxbringer ammo on the Thunderbarge, which I would hit every time, it might bring it down to something in the 20s, but probably not worth it, to be honest. So we experimented, we came, we saw, and we're not going to do it again. So Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons coming in because I see the writing on the wall. Basically, this matchup, when they bring the Barge, becomes like a whack-a-mole type situation where, the Thunderbarge is going to eventually push out to press other objectives, and when it does, you move in and press this side, and their army typically will be weaker than yours because of the fact that they invested so much in the Barge. But it's really about mitigating the Barge value while just bleeding them dry on points, which so far we're doing a good job of. We have almost 300, and, they're only, they just now got on the board, right? So it's barge in time. The Exalted Hero is going to be chilling, and my Sorcerer Lord trying to stay out of range. He does have the dreaded Harpoon, the Spear of Grungni. This doesn't one-shot your characters, but it'll do almost half their HP. It's really, really gross. So you got to make sure you don't get alpha struck. If the dwarves shoot you with a couple range units and then snipe you with that, it can feel real bad. Now, we do bombard the Thunders back here. We're able to get it with the Soul Grinder. The Soul Grinder knocks, bringing the knocks here on the Thunders and draining ammunition as well. So this is cost-effective. Even if we don't do a lot of damage, as long as we just tickle them a little bit. And wow, that was very unfortunate. We missed with all 3 of those. Able to walk into it. I don't know if they can walk into it after the fact. But I do call it some Furies just to test the waters. I was curious how much damage they would do here. So we attack into the Thunderbarge and immediately start taking damage. The thing has 4 melee defense, so you're pretty much guaranteed to hit it. And we do a couple hundred damage, but he does have the Troll Hammers and is going to be able to shoot a bunch of my guys off. So that's what I'm talking about, right? I tested the waters and it didn't work so well, so I just move away. So now, the Thunderbarge has moved towards Objective 2, right? So that's going to give me the opportunity to now press Objective 1 and get into his backfield here, so that's going to be the game plan. 2 Pestigores moving up, and the Bile Trolls running away a little bit, and my Exalted Heroes are going to be looping down and under, and we're going to do a bit of an Alpha Strike on his backfield while getting my Pestigores up on the point to make sure he can't capture it easily from me. Fury's running away, and here comes the party town. I do bait the Blasting Charges a little bit by pulling back, and now the Chaos Warriors will move up. Sorcerer Lord just going to be waiting for some heals while the Noxbringer continues draining the ammo of the Thunderers here. And they're going to be down to a pretty low amount of ammo here. So moving in, we get 1 Exalted Hero on one and 1 on the other. And these guys will do very good against Trollhammers, although they will take some damage on the way in. You can see some shots from the little gremlins here. And they do some pretty considerable damage, but 1 Dwarven Iron Drake does get pounded, and the other one is going to be getting healed. My Exalted Hero, that is, by the Fleshy Abundance. Trolls moving in, but getting caught by Flamethrowers, pretty terrible for them. We'll see if they stabilize the leadership as they do move in and try and get on top of the Thunders. And the Bile Trolls are doing it for Nurgle, man. They make the distance pretty clutch. If they broke there, that would have felt pretty bad, but here they come. And the boinking is going to begin, and now these guys are going to be off the table here. So my Chariot's doing good. Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedoes offline for now. One Exalted Hero does get caught up. Forsaken are here, but during all that, very, very important, we did get the objective. And Chaos Warriors with great weapons are going to make very, very quick work of these Dwarvish infantry here. Meanwhile, Thunder Barge is barging. It's barging time. It's going to be dropping the Spear of Grungni here. So my poor Exalted Hero, he got low, and I was like, oh god, please don't one-shot me. But it is moving over, and the entire time it's just farming value, right? It's at about 1,300. But our Furies that we used originally on the Thunder Barge do shut these guys down. The Harpoon, the Spear of Grungni, gets on top of the Exalted Hero of Nurgle. So Homeboy is going to be blasted and forced to run. He does manage to get this objective, but I do have Pesties coming in and some Poison Hounds as well to try and grab that point. While the Fury is going to be jumping across over to the Thunder Barge. Now, one thing that's not great for the Dwarves is value is close. And that's, I do have some healing, and, he has a Thunder Barge. Typically, the Barge should be a little bit ahead. So another unit of Furies jumping on the Barge. I didn't notice the Flamethrowers down here. I thought I had a freebie, so I kind of got juked there and felt kind of bad. But this objective does start to flip as we get 2 Hounds. We do decisively win this fight over here. And now my Nurgle character is going to be running away, and a Fleshy Abundance is going to be activated on the Exalted Hero of Nurgle. So that man is going to be getting it. While Furies tie down the Iron Drakes, and this objective does flip to us. Hounds have decent capture weight here, so we are going to be using their 4 capture weight to grab the points. And that is going to be quite strong indeed. As we approach the 728 mark, we do see the big Thunder Barge flying overhead. We shoot it with a Cloud of Corrosion. It's down to 30 ammo, so, I mean, it's draining some, for sure. It's getting there. On the backside, Dwarven guns, the Trollhammer Torpedoes, as well as the Thunders, are blasting into the Pesties. Pesties are pretty damn good in this matchup. They have some built-in missile resist, which is helpful. And granted, they lack armor, but, AP guns aren't super good against them. Pestigors, though, getting cooked. Beautiful Dwarven fire. This is what we're all here for, seeing a bunch of demon goat people. They're not really demons, you get the idea. Man-bear pigs charging into the Iron Drakes. Flamethrowers active. Those guys get cooked back, while the other Pesties do get on top of the Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedoes. Looking around, Objective 2 is ours, Objective 3 is ours, and preemptively, obviously, I know he's going to get desperate soon. So the Frolickers Bubonic are going to be heading over to that side to reinforce and make sure we're cozy. And we're going to make a stand here. So over on this objective, we do manage to hold it. A couple Pestigors holding the line while the dogs try and press the backfield. But he does have the Trollhammer Torpedoes. Not Trollhammers. Well, he does have some, but he's got the Iron Drakes with the Flamethrower. So who let the dogs out? Well, he did. And they're going to be running now. While my Lord does get blasted a little bit, he got caught up there. And I do use the Fleshy Abundance. Slayers do good damage, and also the cannon from the Thunder Barge and the Iron Drakes do force me back. Thank goodness, though, I got a Fleshy Abundance off before he broke me. So that means that this character is going to be healing and won't be going into the pits. Noxbringer's out of ammo. It shot its full payload. Over here, we're holding. Chaos Warriors going to be pulling back, and War Pestigor is going to be reinforcing. So he's going to do a gun push here and try and knock me off, then get this objective and go for the win by triple capping me here. So I saw the writing on the wall. I could feel the momentum shifting in the battle where my diving was becoming ineffective because of the fact that he's sitting the Thunder Barge over his army. So when I move in, I just take huge punishment. But if he's going to do that, I can triple cap him. So there's pros and cons to that. A couple Hounds lurking out here. On the back, we do see the Forsaken of Nurgle going to be sprinting up, getting ready to go. Meanwhile, the Barge using its Afterburner for a moment, I think, or maybe not. Iron Drakes, even though they don't say they're an AP unit, they still do reasonably good against the Armored Chaos Warriors, and I do not want any of that. So I'm going to pull back off the objective. And the reason we do this is because it's going to force his missiles forward a little bit closer to me, and then I can close the distance on top of the objective. That is the idea. So we're going to have a little pit fight right here as these Slayers get in, couple Forsaken. I don't know what they were thinking was going to happen there, but they get absolutely obliterated, and those bad boys are going to get hammered by the Thunder Barge. So moving up, Exalted Heroes and Soul Grinders and Nox all these evil Nurgle things, are now going to surge in and attack into the Slayers, and they will take a lot of chariot damage probably. Noxbringer with the boink, but Forsaken are a bit of a hard counter against Slayers. Slayers get wrecked by Forsaken. It's a super good trade for you. So cycle charging a little bit, just trying to buy as much time on the points as I possibly can. On this side, we will be able to hold it for a minute. Now the Pestigors and the Chaos Warriors moving in with the Bile Trolls, which are going to be very clutch. Those damn Iron Drakes are so hot right now. They're causing a lot of problems. So first things first, we got to shut those down. On this point, though, it's going to get rough. The Thunder Barge is going to fly overhead. It's going to do a lot of DPS. Even though the Forsaken are doing an excellent job, it's only a matter of time. The Slayers are just too numerous, and they have Malachi there, too, for capture weight. So we have to retreat back to our home point on Objective 3. So we're going to be heading over there. In the meantime, on this side, we do actually get the capture weight, which is great. Furies are also really good against Slayers. They're infantry size, so Slayers don't get any bonuses against them, and you tend to do very, very well there. Moving in are the Bile Trolls over towards the Miners with Blasting Charges. Here we have Pestigores attacking into the Thunderers. And this is a pretty big win for us. If we can win on this side, it's really going to take away the win condition for the Dwarfs, who might be able to do a desperate last push here with their Blasting Charges and some Miners. And having the Thunder Barge over here, yeah, it looks like he did use the Thunderburner. So it takes a bit of damage, but it gets it where it needs to be. And advancing up through the woods are Pesties on the middle objective. Forsaken still fighting tooth and nail. A couple Hound units going to get on top of the Iron Drakes, but they will lose that. And here the Dwarves are actually getting the momentum they need. So this objective is going to flip, but is it going to flip before the game's over? That's the hard thing. As I approach 1450 points, it's going to be very hard for the Dwarves to get all these units off. The 3 heroes are very strong. And on an open field map with cannons, the Exalted Hero style is very risky, but if it's a map where, you know, this map I know there's like a tree line and some terrain I can kind of abuse a little bit, so you can get away with it here. And they're really incredibly good. They just farm Dwarven infantry all day. 1480, the Dwarves just simply aren't going to have enough time. They haven't even been able to get the outside objective here. These Chaos Warriors just going Giga Chad, and the Trolls are coming back, so maybe I could even win there. And then here, we got it unlocked. GG, well played. Always funny games against Thunder Barge. You never know how it's going to go. But there, it worked out well for us. If he had killed one of the Exalted Heroes, like with that harpoon and had gotten the finish, and maybe my Lord had been killed, like, yeah, he for sure could have won that. But the Gremlins got away. The Nurgle healing clutched it. And it worked out pretty well. But yeah, that build's good. I like it. Noxberger is a little risky, but against a lot of dwarf builds, he does pretty damn good. If they go like wide bow line, you can really punish their value. And yeah, it's a classic Thunder Barge, really small opening army. He had a lot of range reinforcements and Slayers, which of course is common. One thing that's really good against Nurgle is the one of the Doom Seekers. Having one of the big infantry Slayers is pretty nasty. Nurgle can really struggle to bring them down. All right, guys, GG, well played. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. We'll see you on the other side, and that's it for today.